And now at 5, the Florida Supreme Court heard arguments today in a case that will eventually decide if you, the voter, gets to decide the future of abortion in the state.
At issue is whether the amendment is clear enough to be placed on the ballot.
There's 4 words that doom this amendment. No law shall restrict. That is breathtakingly broad, and it substantially disrupts the functions of all 3 branches of government.
This court has emphasized repeatedly how reluctant it is to remove an amendment from the people's sanctified right of self-determination. It should not do so here.
CBS News Miami's Jim DeFede watched today's hearing play out. Now, Jim, the justice has actually pushed back on what these attorneys were saying in that case. So what do you take from that?
You know, first off, let's always be clear. It's always tricky to try to discern where the court is going based on the questions. But based on the questions that they were asking, they seem to push very hard against Ashley Moody. Ashley Moody's is the one who is trying to block the voters from being able to decide this thing. Now, you heard one of the attorneys speaking out against the amendment saying that it's overly broad. The justices didn't seem to have a problem with it being overly broad. They said that's really a political decision. That's going to be something that voters will have to decide if they want to have it. In other words, their whole analogy that they were making, which was fascinating, was, yes, this may be a wolf to us because many of those justices are very conservative. They are made their positions against abortion very clear, but they said that their role today was simply to say, is this ballot language appropriate? Is this ballot language clear? And then you let the voters decide. That's the way it's supposed to work. That seems to be where the court is headed, and we're going to find out soon.
So no decision yet from the court, but what are the repercussions if this does get on the ballot?
Yeah, a couple of things. Well, first, we're going to know by April 1st. They've got to decide by April 1st in order so that supervisors of elections across the state can know what to be able to put on. So we're going to know in a fairly short order in the next few weeks. Now, I think there are major ramifications, both whether they allow it on the ballot or if they strike it from the ballot. I think we're all waiting for the state Supreme Court to also decide on the broader issue of abortion. They are expected to rule that the right of abortion is not guaranteed in the Florida Constitution, and so therefore they are going to enact and allow Sand a 15-week abortion ban, and then 30 days after that a 6-week abortion ban. So the state of Florida over the next several months is going to be roiled by the issue of abortion. You are going to have a major battle here, and the question is going to be, will voters have the opportunity to decide it, or will they take out their anger on politicians if they're denied that ability to make it? So I think it's going to have huge ramifications. Look, it's no secret that Democrats are pushing to put this on the ballot in November, hoping that it will drive women to the polls. They've seen wherever abortion has been on the ballot across the country, it has done well, it has passed, it has driven out voters. The other major amendment that's going to be on is marijuana. So you could have in November young people and women turning out in much higher numbers than in previous elections. That's what scares some Republicans.
Okay, Jim, thank you.
Something we're going to be following in the weeks and months to come. Jim, thanks.